What do you do when you're in a rut? We all get in a rut in life at some stage in our lives. Things happen, circumstances, it doesn't matter what they are, whether it's personal, financial, businesses, work environments, whatever. We do get into a rut at times. It's a bit like the egg timer effect. It's all going through this narrow little bit in the middle, and we find it difficult. It's coming to terms with where we are, who we are, what we are, and our minds go haywire. We think of all kinds of things. We just get into almost a free fall in our mentality, in looking for things, analysing, seeing things in a different light, looking at things from a different perspective, a different point of view. The future is somewhere alien to us because we're not sure where we're coming from, where we're going, what's going to happen, how we've got to do, what we have to do to get where we want to go, and all these kind of things. It's really quite a difficult time, and sometimes it looms large in our minds. Our thoughts actually are something quite different. They take a mind of their own, and we are constantly analysing our thoughts, analysing our situations, and actually talking to ourselves in our mind to quite a large extent, where we can actually become distant or distracted by who's who and what's what and people around us. What we need to do is actually stop all that and actually bring it to a conclusion, bring it home. We know where we are, we're in a rut, and we probably don't know where what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. But the fact is, we need to do something. Because if we don't do anything, nothing will happen. Life will take us forward by default. And we don't want that to happen. We want to be in charge of our lives, we want to move forward, and we need to be in charge of also how it moves forward. We can't control everything in life, so it's silly wanting that to happen. But we can control us. We are in charge of ourselves all the time, and we need then to understand this, because when we understand that and things don't go our way, it's no good sort of going, oh, what again, I don't know what's happening, and doing all these stupid mental things and throwing aspersions on everybody else, and he did this and she did that. We need to be in control of whom we are, because when we are, we can make things happen. We can overcome the things which don't go very well, and then if they don't go very well, and sometimes they don't go very well for quite protracted periods of time, but if we understand that, we have the ability and the power and the energy within us to overcome and still smile in the face of adversity and move forward, because that moving forward is an essential aspect of whom we are. Being positive in mind gives us that ability to see beyond the horizon. And sometimes if we're on that ship and the sea is choppy, we're still going forward. Even if it's choppy and we're moving from side to side and all over the place, we're still moving forward. And we may not appear to be moving forward, we may not seem to be moving forward, the scenery may look the same, the smell may smell the same, we may appear to be the same, but by the mere fact that we are actually moving forward gives us the ability to actually overcome and see what is beyond the horizon, what's beyond the hill, what's beyond what's in front of us. We can't see the street next to ours because of the houses opposite, but what we can see is going round the corner, and there they are. And that's what actually moving forward. Getting in a rut is something of a self-created concept. Just because things aren't going our way doesn't mean it's poor old me, oh, what am I going to do, whoa, this and that and the other. No, it's actually saying, right, I'm here, I'm now, this is it. But it's not going to be like this forever. And this attitude, if you actually take it on board, that things are going to be like this forever, and you tell everybody, you know, I'm not doing this, I don't know what to do, you're actually creating an animal with legs and arms, you're giving it gravitas. And once you do this, it becomes a talking point, and you tell everybody, and you never move forward because you've grounded yourself into a position which is actually growing roots. And so it's become a feature of your life. You've got to go beyond that feature and actually be mobile and say, okay, this is where I am, but I'm not going to let circumstances dictate to me how I should feel. I'm going to say the opposite way around. I am going to feel good regardless. And anybody who goes around saying, well, if you knew my circumstances, oh, it's easy for you to say that, or, well, if you'd done this, well, if you've been through what then forget it. If you don't want to actually accept a change in your life, that's fine. You can rot and go where you want. Nobody wants to know because you're useless. If you want to make that change, help will come your way. It may not be as and when you want it to be, because life is just like that, but it could be quite substantial. Never turn the opportunities of life which are out there away from you. You'll never know what is around the corner. It's like fog. Just because it comes down, it doesn't mean things have disappeared. They are still the same, they are still there, and when you go and the fog goes, everything is the same. So you can actually move forward. This fog which comes down when you're in a rut actually does cloud your mind, but you don't allow it to take over your mind, to say that's it, finish, it's all over. It's not all over. It's like flying an aircraft. You can't see the destination, but 12 hours later, you're on the other side of the world. It's really that simple. The route is not that simple, but getting over that is quite simple. It's your mentality, your stance, your view, your take on life, your view and your take on yourself and people around you. And the moment you change to a positive attribute, you will actually see it and feel better. You'll see things which you haven't seen before because you're so busy actually dwelling on the negativity, dwelling on the situation. You haven't seen the solutions, and the solutions are there. They're there for everyone. They may not be in your perception at the moment. You may not even know what solutions exist because your narrow thought process is keeping them actually together all in one place. But there are solutions which you haven't thought about, you didn't even know about. So keeping an open mind allows those solutions to come to you. Therefore, when you actually get them and you see them, you're in a far better state to say, yes, I'm going to run with that. That's interesting, that's interesting, that's interesting. And instead of having a whole myriad of thoughts saying, what am I going to do, you'll just say, oh, shall I do this, because the opportunities arise. Change your mentality, be positive all the time.